my opinion, generic roles such as data analysis, data science, business analysis, just to name a few, will become obsolete in the near future. In this short video, I'm going to provide with facts that support my bold claim and the alternative solution you should leverage in order to have the competitive edge in today's and tomorrow's job market. Without further ado, let's dive in. Let's take the example of a data analyst role, to be more specific, entry level. On paper, the definition of a data analyst role might state something like this. I just did a quick prompt on ChatGPT, and it says that for your technical skills, you must have, let's say for data analysis tools, you must have Excel, you must be good in Excel, SQL, and also you probably should be good with Python, arrow programming, depending on which tool you prefer, and also good with data visualization. So probably Power BI, Tableau, just to name a few, and you should have a basic understanding of statistics. Now, so this is just that, on paper, this is what is expected of a data analyst, especially if you're still yes, you're searching for entry level roles. Then obviously you have soft skills such as ability to have the analytical thinking, communication, attention to detail, time management. This is what we all expect for an entry level role in data analysis. But let me take you over to LinkedIn. So I just did a quick search on two jobs. These are data analyst roles, entry roles. I just want you to see that it is clearly entry level role of a data analyst in Model International. Now, having the definition of a data analyst role on paper, let's look at what these guys are asking or requesting. So, if you want to join this company as a data analyst with at the entry level position, they're expecting you to have a master's degree or PhD in computer science or yeah, any technical field. Now, but what is of interest to me is the coding skill. So you must have experience in SQL. It's expected, right? Yes. Also Microsoft Power BI stack. So Power Query. I expect that because we also saw that in the definition from ChatGPT. But what caught my interest is other things like database design. You probably should be good with database design. This looks a little bit exceptional because when we look at the structure of data roles, you expect that for someone to be good at database design and database development, then you're already moving towards the responsibility of a database developer or a database administrator. But for this entry role, they are expecting you to have already have some database design concepts. So you must probably even Oracle, relational database management system is nice to have. You should have practical experience with data warehouse, data vault, data lake. You clearly see that these are already more advanced skills they are requesting for just a data entry role. Also, they are asking for cloud computing. You must be good with Google Cloud, understanding data lakes, data layers, Azure data factory, and other stuffs. And as expected, yeah, you should be good with visualization tools such as Power BI or Tableau, just to name a few. So you clearly see that the responsibilities and the demands of data roles are becoming a little bit generic and are more demanding. Let's look at another example of a data analyst role in another company. You can clearly see it is still an entry level role. Okay, let's move down to the skills. So you're expected to have a degree, which is okay. Normally, since we are based in Belgium, it's an example in Belgium, French. So depending on your area, they will ask for certain other requirements. But for me, what is of interest is the technical skills. Let's look at the technical skills. You're expected to probably be good at data collection. Okay, that is quite fair. Data cleaning, also quite fair. Exploratory data analysis, also quite fair, to use statistical concepts and visualization tools to understand data structures, which is quite fair. But what caught my attention to this role is you should be able to develop statistical models or machine learning algorithms to extract meaningful insights or make predictions. Technically, on paper, that is the responsibility of a data scientist. As a data scientist, you must be able to use statistical models or machine learning algorithms to extract meaningful insights and make predictions. That is what we have been sold, or by definition, if you Google or you ask Chat GPT, for example, that is the responsibility of a data scientist. So, summary, what am I trying to say? Um, as we move ahead, these data roles will become generic, and every company will define it in their own way, and based on the problem they want to solve, they will call it the way they want. So what I'm trying to say is you shouldn't focus on the generic roles such as I want to become a data analyst, I want to become a data scientist, but the goal should be I should be able to identify the business problem and use specific AI and data skills to solve the problem. That leads me to what I'm about to propose, how you should think, especially from now and tomorrow, in order to have the competitive edge in the job market. I wrote an article which helps you to, it's a kind of a mind shift and also to frame you in order to become, to stay competitive or to have that competitive edge in today's and tomorrow's job market. So the title of the article is like think like a problem solver. So you stop from becoming a general employee or to have the generic roles to become an AI and data business growth consultant. In this article, I'm going to break down certain things that you probably have to know, and I'm not going to read everything, but obviously you can access this article on my website. I explain who is an AI and data business group consultant or how to become one. Let's have a background of our educational system. In my opinion, our educational system actually is doing a good job, but it's not doing the best job. In the sense that when you go through our current university system, most of the time they just train you to have generic skills. Yes, which is good. They train you to have all the skills. But in today's job market, what employers are looking for are people that can solve specific business problems. And that is what I believe is lacking in our educational system. But we should not just throw all the blame on the educational system. It's also your responsibility to be able to identify that business problem. So that is why I think our educational system is not really designed to be able to solve business problems of today. So in this first paragraph, I kind of explain why the educational system is broken. Then, in the second paragraph or in the second section, I try to give you an understanding of how companies identify problems and how from those problems we get job openings. You need to understand that, yeah, companies they will obviously identify business problems, but when they identify business problems, let's take for example, they identify 100 business problems in the first stage, so problem identification. You clearly see that they have to do some solution research, they do skill identification, job specification before we have job openings. So they might identify like 100 business problems, but at the end of the day, maybe just one or two will turn out to be job openings. This already limits you if you only waiting for job openings. So indirectly, if you are part of the process where you start by identifying a business problem, you're also involved in the solution research, skill identification, and job specification. Obviously, you become a favorite candidate whenever there's a job opening because you have been part of the process. So rather than waiting at the end of the funnel, you should be part of the starting phase of this funnel. Next, you know, currently the way we present ourselves in the job market is just generic, and I see this so often that uh, I will not fully blame you, but somehow you should also take the blame because things are changing. This is an example of you might present yourself in the job market today. Let's say you want to become a data scientist. Someone asks you, what is your responsibility? You say, I'm an experienced data scientist. I help companies uncover insights from data using visualization, dashboards, Python programming, etc. Yeah, that is the generic thing we see. If I go online and I Google who's a data scientist, I expect to have this outcome. And you also presenting yourself like this, technically, I don't see anything of difference or unique that you're bringing into a company. Maybe before, when the data science role was still in brackets or in quotes, the sexy role, you didn't really need to prove yourself. If you just say I'm a data scientist, companies will rush behind you. But as of today, a lot of people are flooding into the field. So just having a generic definition of yourself doesn't really make sense. So I would strongly or highly recommend that you stop presenting yourself like this and you switch to an approach I'm going to talk about now, which is an AI and data business growth consultant. So these are professionals who identify business problems, and with those business problems, they identify unique AI and data skills in order to solve the business problem. You might identify a business problem, and that business problem requires you to use a visualization dashboard. Then, in that case, you should go ahead and learn how to use Power BI, Tableau, or any visualization tool. You might identify another business problem, and it says that you need to use machine learning models. Then you have to learn machine learning models in order to solve the business problem. So it's not about the skills are always there, but the driven factor should be the business problem. So some of the responsibilities of an AI and data growth consultant, you are responsible of strategic analysis. So your goal is to be able to start by identifying that business problem and set the strategy in order to solve the business problem. Next, you should be able to come up with a solution plan, or you develop the solution. So in the case where you have identified that this business problem needs to be solved using visualization, then you should design the solution, how um, what will be needed in order to solve that problem. And you can also be part of the implementation. So let's say you have identified the solution, then you might be involved in solving a problem, or they can outsource this implementation to someone else, but you are responsible to make sure that you check the performance, if everything that you set as a strategy, actually what they are implementing is giving the required output. You should be involved in training and education as well. Let's say you go to a company and you have identified a problem, you want them to solve the problem, they have a whole team, or you want to help the business owner solve the problem, and they are willing to do it on their own. You should be involved in providing some training and education to educate the team so that they can do the job on their own, and industry insight as well. I'll really elaborate on this because you need to be specific. You can't be good at in every industry. That is not possible. I don't even see that happening. So some of the benefits of becoming an AI and data group consultant. Technically, you demand very high fees. The fact that you're very specific and you're a consultant, you have to demand very high fees for your expertise. Okay. You also have that flexibility and control. You set your own rules. So if you say, okay, for me to do this or to work with you, I would prefer to work remote or hybrid, or I'll come to the office twice a week, or one time a week, or whatsoever. You also have diverse opportunities. So rather than sticking to one company, you can vary your industry, or you change projects. You can work with, um, let's say, 3 to 5 companies at the same time, and in those different companies, you're having, different types of projects. So there's that flexibility, and there is that fun in doing projects, not doing the same project over and over for years. Also, you have one of the benefits also is that professional growth. You have that continuous learning, because you solve a problem in company A, go to company B, it's another problem, and you have to use other skills. So you keep learning new skills with respect to specific problems, and that gives you that continuous learning, and also increase your networking ability as well. The other things that you could definitely benefit from is impact and recognition and financial independence, okay? Because you demand more for your services, obviously you definitely earn more and you gain more. So what are the ingredients of becoming an AI and data growth consultant? So for you to become one, you need to have a specific industry, you're solving a specific problem, so solving a specific problem, and using specific AI and data skills. Then you must obviously be aiming for a specific solution. So when I talk about an industry, you should be specific in an industry, is because let's say you had a bachelor's degree in finance and now you're learning AI and data, then that is your industry. You must have industry knowledge. Take note, AI and data skills on their own doesn't really make sense. You must apply it in a specific industry. That is the beauty of having a non-tech background and transitioning into AI and data, because you already have the industry knowledge. You are just leveraging now the AI and data skills to solve specific problems in your industry of interest. And you must be good at solving specific problem. Whenever there's a specific problem, they should be thinking of you. Okay, you should not be that guy when you think you can solve problem A, B, C, D, but you should be that guy that solves specific problem across several companies. So that is something you need to be very good at, especially at the beginning. Maybe when you start moving ahead and you become very experienced, and yeah, you could probably be good at solving other problems, but at the beginning, start with a specific problem. And you must have a desired solution. Most of the time, this will be the like what the companies their desired outcome will be. So you have identified the problem, and that is their desired outcome. Specific AI and data skills as well. At the beginning, you must be good at certain skills. So you have identified the problem, and this is the skill that you obviously use in order to solve a specific business problem. Think of this AI and data skills as your toolbox. Take for example a carpenter. A carpenter has a toolbox. So they start with a small toolbox, and with time they keep adding the tools in their toolbox or in the arsenal. You cannot start with a very big arsenal. You start with something small and you start gaining experience and adding skills to your toolbox. So summarily, I expect that when you gain all those skills or you apply those specific ingredients, you should be able to present yourself as such. As an AI and data business growth consultant, I help health NGOs to improve the mental health of HIV patients by using visualization dashboards to display key patient indicators to support decision making. Now, really ask yourself, this presentation and the one I previously showed you, which one really shows some professionalism and some expert knowledge? Technically, you I this the second option actually makes a lot of sense because you're so specific. You in this case, this is someone that is good at the health is good in the health sector. So you're good with the health sector, and you're working with patients or in NGOs to improve mental health. So you have that specific industry knowledge about mental health, and the skill that you're using is visualization dashboard. So if another NGO wants to work with mental health patients and they are looking for someone to help them building a visualization dashboard, they should be thinking of you because you have already done that in several other NGOs. So just to conclude, technically, the conventional roles, they are still there. I'm not saying that the data analyst, the business analyst, or whatever you're thinking of, those roles will still be there. But when you present yourself as an AI and data business growth consultant, you can assume those sub roles at any time. So this guy is like the envelope of all data roles. That is the future of all data roles. But in a specific context, you might assume the cap of a data analyst. For in our example, we're talking about visualization dashboard. So that is an example of a data analyst. You might go to another company and the problem you want to solve will need a machine learning algorithm. Then you become a data scientist. So this is more like a generic, a more, let's say, generalized role, which you can assume other sub roles depending on the business problem. So in order to help you, you can definitely become one. I've actually designed the Education to Professional Employment Framework, which is there to guide you in order to from being a non-tech professional to becoming an AI and data business growth consultant. So you can get a free copy. This article is free. You can get it on my website. I'm also going to provide you with the link to dive deep into this and start having that mind shift of becoming an AI and data group consultant. And if you find this helpful, don't hesitate to leave a review so that I can provide related articles and also more insight into these concepts. And obviously, you can find other very interesting articles on my website, which you can leverage in order to transition to becoming an AI and data business growth consultant. If you found this video insightful as well, don't hesitate to click on the like button or subscribe to follow us. And also, you can add a comment to let me know what you think about this concept of an AI and data business growth consultant. If there's something I explained that is not clear, don't hesitate to also leave a comment so that I can answer it and also fine tune it and make it more better coming articles. Thank you.